Hi everyone, how are you doing? My name is Dani and I'm not doing so great, to be honest. I will talk about that in just a second, but first, as usual, I want to talk a little bit about the house. There's not much to say though, since this is just another tiny house. Well, more like a small house. I wasn't trying to make this one as small as possible or anything like that, I just wanted to have some fun. I've been watching a few videos about tiny apartments in Japan, and the idea for this one most likely came from that. I thought about waiting for the Blooming Rooms kit, which should be released for free soon, but since my mood has been really inconsistent these days, and I didn't want to waste this rare motivation to build something from scratch, well, I decided to bring it to you right now. I playtested the house, fixed a few issues, and everything works now, but there's this bug that happened a few times before where the Sims cannot use the computer unless you tell them to sit on the chair first. If you click on the computer before they sit, the command will just instantly vanish. It's the second time this happens to me. I mean, it's actually the third, but one of those times the issue fixed itself after I reloaded the game. I have no idea what's causing this. I'm sure it's not the table, the chair, or the computer. It could be the decorations on top of the desk, but I use those pretty much all the time. And this problem has only happened 3 times so far, so I don't know. This game is broken. That's all I can say. Anyway, the last thing I want to say about the house refers to the backyard. I've wanted to put more thought and effort into my backyards for a really long time now. I really like those very organized, fancy backyards, and I've always wanted to give it a try, so this time I did. I mean, kind of. I tried, at least, and I'm pretty pleased with it. I know it's nothing special, I still have a long way to go, but it's progress, so I appreciate it either way. Well, I think it's all for the house, so now let's talk about the personal issue I mentioned in the last community post. I normally wouldn't talk about this type of thing because, well, first of all, I don't like to expose myself when I'm feeling down. I've always been like this, possibly because I was raised in a pretty toxic environment where my weaknesses could and would be used against me. And then second of all, the person who caused my issue is subscribed to the channel, so there's a small chance he might watch this video. I don't think it will happen. He doesn't really care about what I do here, but even if it does happen, well, I won't be saying anything I haven't told him to his face already, so suck it up, honey. So here's the thing. Until a year and a half ago, I had a boyfriend. We had been dating for 8 full years, we went through a lot of shit together, so I was completely unprepared for him to show up at my house one night and tell me he wants to break up. Like, our relationship wasn't perfect, I'm very well aware of that. I myself thought about breaking up plenty of times because I was sick and tired of his bullshit, but I never did because I was still holding on to the hope of things getting better. I don't want to go into too much detail about this because this video is pretty short. I can talk about it in another video if you want me to, but long story short, my life was an absolute mess and he broke up with me right when I needed him the most. He said we could still be friends, but like, how do you stay friends with a guy that hurts you like that? I don't know. Anyway, 2 months later, January 1st, 2023. I got a text from him wishing me a happy new year. It was weird. That was the first time he texted me in weeks. He didn't even answer the text I sent him 1 week before wishing him a Merry Christmas. I thought about ignoring his text too, but then I wanted to teach him how to properly treat your friends. So I wished him a happy new year too. I thought we were done, but he kept on texting me like he was trying to chit chat, which is something I know he hates doing, so I realized right away that he was up to something. And sure thing, after a while, he asked me if I still had any hopes of getting back with him. My stupid little heart was like, yes, please, let's get back together. But my brain was like, oh no, we are so not going through that again. So I tried to find an in-between, and I said I didn't want to get back to the relationship we'd had before, but I was willing to try a new relationship with him, starting from scratch. I was honest and said I wasn't sure I could forgive him for what he did, and he said he understood and that he would redeem himself with me. Now, that was a little bit over a year ago, and we are still not back together because he put little to no effort into that so-called redemption. Quite quite the opposite, actually. For the last 5 months or so, I noticed him spending a lot of time with this other girl on Discord. He would literally spend every second of his free time with her. There was even this time he told me he would have 4 days off work soon, and I thought he was telling me that because he wanted to spend time with me, but no. He spent all of those 4 days with her, playing League with her, watching movies and anime with her, streaming his other games to her, stuff like that. I tried not to overreact, but when he started ignoring me to be with her, like, I would invite him to my League party so we could play a game together, but instead he would go into queue with her without telling me a word, and so I lost it. We had a pretty ugly fight. I told him that if he just were to spend with me half of the time he spends with her, we would be a couple again by now, and he went, "Oh, I spend time with her because she asks me to. If you want to spend time with me, maybe you should do the same." And I was like, are you for real? You break up with me, you break my fucking heart, you promised me a redemption that never came, yet you are expecting me to run after you. Anyway, I don't remember how the rest of the conversation went, but eventually he told me the real reason he broke up with me, and it made me so mad. Apparently, he broke up with me because I never said the word "I love you" to him. And you might be thinking, well, that sounds like a pretty decent reason to break up with someone after 8 years. But listen, I told him on our very first day that I could not use that word. I explained to him that there was this guy I used to date who used and abused that word to the point where I would get nauseous just from hearing it. He said he understood and that it was difficult for him to use that word too, so I thought we were on the same page. But apparently, we were not. He told me only a few days ago, after 10 freaking years, that word was actually a really big deal for him. But he didn't tell me about it because he was scared of reviving my trauma. So instead of talking to me like an adult so we could fix the problem together as a couple, he decided to just walk away. You see, I don't even think this was a matter of finding out if the feeling was there or not. I think he knew the feeling was there. There's no way he would stay with me for 8 freaking years if he had doubts about my feelings for him. It was really just a matter of saying it with that very specific word. I tried to show him my feelings in a million different ways, but he was so fixated on that word that he missed everything else. Like, he knows I don't like to touch other people or have other people touch me. I know he knows this because of a certain situation that happened with his grandmother. So how come he never realized the meaning of me touching him all the time? I was always trying to hold his hand, playing with his fingers. I would even put his hand on my face, which is the most sensitive area of my body, after my private parts, of course. Like, I told him all of this during our last fight, and he was like, "Oh, I never thought of it that way. Still, I wanted the word." So now I'm here, feeling like crap, feeling super guilty and responsible, despite knowing that I did everything I could. I actually thought we were on our way to sort everything out after our last fight, but no. He said it's too late and that he doesn't want to be in a relationship anymore. Well, not in a relationship with me, at least. He still talks with the other girl. He assured me that she's just a friend and all, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting sad again and the video is almost over, so I will be on my way now. Thank you so much for watching and thank you for listening to my rambling. I know I cut out a lot of details, I'm sorry. I might talk more about those later in a longer video if you guys are interested. So yeah, I will see you then.